Have you ever been sitting in traffic, on your way to work, just gripping the steering wheel and thinking, I'm not heading to a job, I'm heading to serve a sentence? Well, if you've ever felt trapped or drained or just completely over the endless daily grind, you are in the right place. Let's start decoding that life sentence, shall we?
Oof, this quote from Rosalind just hits so hard, doesn't it? Because it perfectly captures that feeling that so many of us know. It's this deep sense that you're not just working, you're serving time. And we're not just talking about a bad day at the office here. This is about a fundamental feeling that something is just deeply, deeply wrong with how modern work is structured.
And let's get one thing straight right here, right now. If this is resonating with you, you're not lazy for wanting something more. You are not crazy for feeling like you're losing your mind a little bit. This feeling, as we're about to break down, is actually a totally logical response to what is often a completely illogical environment.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to decode what this life sentence actually is. Then we'll get into the symptoms it causes, both on the outside and, more importantly, on the inside. After that, we'll pull back the curtain and see why the game feels so rigged. But don't worry, we're not leaving you there. We're going to give you a mindset survival kit and, finally, start sketching out a real escape plan. All right, first up, the 9-to-5 life sentence. Let's decode this daily grind. What are the actual bars on this prison made of?
The daily reality, well, it's often this soul-crushing combo, right? You've got those pointless meetings where everyone's circling back and touching base, but nothing actually gets done. That leads to the ultimate scam, fake work. You know what I'm talking about, the reports you pour hours into that deep down, no one will ever really read. And it's all powered by this always-on culture of late-night emails and pings where the workday never really stops. Your lunch break? Yeah, that's a myth. And it all just feeds this relentless cycle. Wake up, work, get home too exhausted to actually live your life, go to sleep, and then do it all over again.
Okay, let's move on to the symptoms, both inside and out. And this distinction is so important, because it's not just about the job itself, it's about what the job is doing to you.
Now check this out, because this is where it all connects. The stuff happening on the outside, all those meetings, the fake work, the constant notifications from Slack or Teams, they create very real, very damaging symptoms on the inside. That external noise, it becomes internal chaos. It turns into chronic stress, nights spent staring at the ceiling, and this slow, painful chipping away at your own confidence.
This quote, highlighted by Jennifer Brick, is the absolute key to understanding everything. The toxic environment isn't just the event, like your boss yelling. The real damage, what we could call workplace trauma, is how your body and your mind respond to those events. It's what happens inside you. That's the reason you might feel completely broken, while a coworker in the exact same role seems totally fine.
And this internal toll, it's devastating. Your body literally keeps the score. You feel it in the headaches, the knots in your shoulders, that racing pulse. Your brain's ancient fight-or-flight system is just constantly on because it can't tell the difference between a toxic manager and a saber-toothed tiger. This leads to those awful nights where you just replay the day's drama over and over. So what do you do to cope? You doom scroll, you online shop, anything for a tiny hit of dopamine. And that feeling of dread, it doesn't clock out at 5, it follows you home. Over time, all that unfair criticism and lack of validation makes you start to believe that maybe you're the problem.
Which brings us to a really hard truth in our next section. The game is rigged. This isn't about you not working hard enough. It's about realizing that in this system, hard work alone is often not enough to win.
As Joshua Fluke points out so well, the biggest myth of the corporate ladder is that you're the one holding it. You think that your effort directly translates to how fast you climb, but the reality is you're not really in control of the promotions, the raises, or even the ladder itself.
The truth is, the whole system is often more of a performance than a meritocracy. It's less about what you actually produce and more about looking busy, about politics. Honestly, it's basically high school, just with group chats and paid time off forms.
So how exactly is it rigged? Well, for starters, companies can just change the rules or move the goalposts whenever they feel like it. Your loyalty? It's almost always a one-way street. Promotions can go to the person who's good at office politics, not the person who actually gets results. And that corporate ladder you were promised, it might have a bunch of missing rungs, or worse, it might not even exist. And so often, the toxicity isn't even coming from your coworkers. It's trickling down from the very top.
So if the game is rigged, what are you supposed to do? This leads us to Section 4, your mindset survival kit. This is for anyone who can't just up and quit tomorrow but desperately needs a way to stay sane while they're still there.
The strategy is called strategic staying, and it's all about protecting your true self while you navigate the chaos. It boils down to 3 key moves. Number 1, create your work persona. Number 2, script your boundaries. And number 3, build your no list.
Now let's be clear, a work persona is not about being fake. Think of it more like light armor. It's a professional filter that protects the real you from all the corporate nonsense. It's the version of you that can nod politely through a crazy meeting without letting that toxicity seep into your soul and come home with you. It protects the real you.
But listen, survival is not the end goal here. Freedom is. And that brings us to our final section, the escape plan. This is all about building your path out of this prison for good.
This quote is a complete game changer. The key to freedom isn't necessarily another degree or some fancy certification. It's about becoming undeniably useful. It's about building skills that give you real leverage, the kind of leverage a corporate title can never give you.
So, what are we actually aiming for? Well, psychology tells us there are 3 basic human needs we have to meet to live a fulfilling life. First is autonomy, the freedom to be yourself and make your own choices. Second is relatedness, the need for real, genuine connection, not just networking. And third is competence, that feeling that you are truly good and effective at what you do. These 3 things, not a fancy job title, are the true north of a life well lived.
And this right here is the ultimate move. You have to redefine what success actually means to you. It is time to throw out that old, pre-written script that society hands us. You know, the one that says you need the corner office to be happy. Instead, just follow your curiosity. Find out what a life worth living actually looks and feels like for you. So, I'll leave you with this question. Forget about escaping the whole prison tomorrow. What is one small thing you can do today to start your own parole? Maybe it's finally blocking off your lunch hour on your calendar so no one can book it. Maybe it's signing up for that online course you've been thinking about. What's your first step? This explainer is a great starting point, but if you truly want a solution, check the link in the description. It will show you how to thrive in the modern workplace.